so much technology right now just making its way into the property management industry. So when that happens, as an industry matures, you have to start selecting like, oh, what kind of technology do we use? So based off of your experience, like what is the best way for operators to think about implementation and selecting the right technologies for their portfolios? Like what are some of those like best practices and tips that they should keep in mind?
Yeah, it's a great thing. Well, first thing I think is to figure out, are they buying technology that just does something for them automatically, or are they buying something to help them do a job better? Because there are different answers to that. If you just like something that does something for you, like, oh, it just helps me clock in people in and out, and the day after I implement it, I'm all good to go, or I have this service that drives leads to my form on my website, and it's just going to work, and I'm going to see whether it works or not work, is different than saying, hey, where are we trying to optimize our company? Where are we trying to find efficiencies? What are we trying to do? Where are we trying to bring automation? And for the second piece where you're saying, okay, how do we have our company become more and more optimized over time? The most important thing you can do is write down what are our goals and who is involved in those goals, who is involved in the process, and make sure all of those people are in the evaluation form. I'll tell you, the worst thing somebody can do is one person in the organization buys a solution that somebody else is going to use, and they don't talk about why they're buying it, and they don't talk about, what their challenges are, and they buy it, and then they hand it off, and then the chief engineer gets it and is like, somebody else bought this, and I guess I'm stuck with it. That's the worst thing that can happen in an organization. So instead you say, okay, well, what are the goals? And how do we make sure, the asset manager has certain goals out of this, which is I need access to the standard operating procedures. Or, hey, we're buying a bunch of properties and we want to change the procedures that are going on at those from the way they used to, run, some other folks, to a standardized process, renovate on turn and move it up, whatever that might be. So if they write those down, they're already way ahead of the game. And then the largest ones have implementation managers who manage this process internally, and they understand that there's a rollout and how to do the selection process and who the internal stakeholders are. Because that's the biggest disconnect, is when the internal and external stakeholders are completely, on different pages on what the goal is of the product.